Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I'm Atira and this week we are learning on how to make inferences. I'm sure some of you are busy celebrating Raya with your family and perhaps simply spending time with your family, but please take some time to listen to this lecture. So, what is making inferences? Making inferences refers to the process of drawing conclusions or making predictions based on evidence or information that is not explicitly stated or directly observable. Inferences are often based on a combination of prior knowledge, context, and clues within the information provided. They can be used to fill in gaps in information, make educated guesses, and understand the implicit meanings behind language or actions. Inferences can be made in a variety of settings, including reading comprehension, which is the focus of our lesson today, scientific research, and everyday communication. Without realizing this, I'm sure all of us have the experience of making inferences at least once in our lives. For example, based on our observation of other people's actions or behaviors, we make inferences and act accordingly. In reading, making inferences involves using clues from the text combined with prior knowledge and experiences to draw conclusions or make predictions about what is not explicitly stated in the text. This process allows readers to better understand the text and gain deeper insights into the author's intended meaning. For example, if a character in a story is described as looking sad and withdrawn, the reader might infer that the character is experiencing emotional pain or going through a difficult time. Similarly, if the author describes a gloomy and rainy setting, the reader might infer that the scene is meant to convey a sense of sadness or foreboding. So, in conclusion, making inferences in reading means using clues or details from the text to draw conclusions or make predictions about information that is not directly stated. It involves taking what you already know and combining it with what you've read to understand the meaning behind the text. So, in this case, you refer to your prior knowledge regarding weather and what it associates to with the details from the text in order to make inference. Making inferences in reading requires active engagement with the text and an understanding of the author's use of language and literary devices. It is an important skill for developing critical thinking and comprehension abilities, and it allows readers to go beyond the surface level information presented in a text to gain a deeper understanding of the meaning and message conveyed. So, making inferences actually help you to better understand the text. By now, you must have realized how sophisticated or how complex the skill of making inferences is as compared to perhaps skimming and scanning. But why is it important? The first one is because it improves comprehension. Making inferences helps students to better understand complex texts and ideas. By drawing conclusions based on evidence, students can fill in gaps in their understanding and gain deeper insights into the material. Secondly, because it helps to promote critical thinking. Making inferences requires students to use their analytical skills and think critically about the information presented. This skill is essential for developing an informed opinion, evaluating arguments, and making sound decisions. Lastly, because it improves reading efficiency. Making inferences can also help students to read more efficiently as it allows them to make connections between ideas and anticipate what may come next in the text. This can save time and increase comprehension. In general, the skill of making inferences actually helps students to read better. Now we're going to learn some of the steps on how to make inferences. The first one is to look for clues in the text that can help you draw conclusions. These clues can include details about the characters, setting, tone, language, examples used by the author. Next, you need to draw on your prior knowledge and experiences to help you make connections between the text and the real-world situations. This can help you make more accurate inferences. Or in other words, you need to apply what you have already known while making the inferences, and you need to connect the knowledge with the details from the text. The third step is to evaluate the evidence that you have gathered and consider alternative explanations for the clues you have identified. This can help you make more informed and accurate inferences. It is also a good idea to consider the author's purpose for including certain details or language in the text. This can help you understand the author's intended message and make more accurate inferences. Finally, you need to revise your inferences. Be willing to revise your inferences if new information becomes available. As you continue to read, you may come across new clues that require you to revise your initial inferences. Making inferences while reading is a skill that requires practice and active engagement with the text. By following these steps, you can become better at making inferences and gain a deeper understanding of the text. The clouds overhead were thick and gray, and a few droplets of rain splattered against the window pane. Inside, the main character of the story sat at her desk, staring blankly at the computer screen in front of her. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard, but she didn't seem to be typing anything. Based on these clues, I inferred that the main character was feeling uninspired and stuck, perhaps struggling to come up with ideas for her writing. The weather outside and her lack of progress on the computer were both indications of the character's internal struggle. So you make the inferences by looking at the details provided in the text and combine with your prior knowledge regarding the action of the character, the weather outside, you come up with the inference that the writer was actually stuck and uninspired. And the description of the weather indicates that indicates or can be related to the character's internal struggle, because usually rainy days are associated with something gloomy and something sad or depressing. Now let's do some exercises together, shall we? Read the following paragraph and make an inference based on the information provided. Arif looked at his watch and realized that he was running late for his meeting. He quickly grabbed his briefcase and rushed out the door, almost forgetting his phone in the process. Here, based from the details provided, we can make an inference that Arif is a busy person who has a lot of meetings to attend. Sophia spent the afternoon at the park, watching the children play and reading a book in the shade. She smiled as she watched a group of kids chase each other around a tree, their laughter filling the air. From the details provided, such as Sophia's action of smiling, as well as the descriptions of the environment or the context, we can infer that Sophia enjoys spending time outdoors and she finds joy in watching children play. Amma woke up to the sound of rain tapping against his window. He groggily got out of bed and walked over to his closet, pulling out a bright yellow raincoat and a pair of sturdy boots. As he put them on, he couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. Amma loved the rain, and he knew that today's downpour would be a welcome relief after weeks of hot, dry weather. So, from the details provided in the paragraph, such as Amar's sense of excitement or the perception that he has regarding the rain, Amar is likely someone who enjoys rainy weather. He has a specific outfit prepared for rainy days, including a bright yellow raincoat and sturdy boots. These are the details provided in the paragraph. Additionally, his feelings of excitement suggest that he enjoys the rain and sees it as a welcome change from the recent hot and dry weather. Alright, before we end the lesson, I would like to again conclude that making inferences in reading refers to the action of using clues or details from the text to draw conclusions or make predictions or make educated guesses about information that is not directly stated. So it basically involves taking what you already know, which means your prior knowledge, and combining it with what you've read to understand the meaning behind the text. So in conclusion, making inferences helps you to understand the text better. So that's all for this week's lesson. I hope you're able to apply the skill of making inferences in other subjects, not just English, because it helps you to understand the text better. That's all from me, Madam Atira. I wish you all the best. Have a nice day and goodbye.